Blaster shots lit the sky. Alien screams echoed across the battlefield. The ground shook with every explosion. Ryan, a human soldier, ran through the smoke, carrying only his rifle and a half-broken shield on his back. He wasn't supposed to be here. The mission was over. The humans had already pulled back. But Ryan had heard someone crying through the radio before the signal went dead. It was a woman's voice, weak, scared. He followed it. Deep inside the broken palace, beneath the ruins, he found her trapped under a pile of heavy stone, bleeding and shaking. Her long silver hair was messy, her golden armor cracked. Her purple eyes widened when she saw him. You're a human?" she whispered. Ryan didn't answer. He dropped his weapon, ran forward, and started lifting the debris. "Hold on," he said. "I've got you." With one final push, the stone gave way. The woman collapsed into his arms. "I thought no one was coming," she said softly. "I heard you," he replied. That was enough. They didn't have time for long talk. The enemy was coming. Ryan grabbed her waist, helped her up, and carried her out of the palace ruins. He fought through enemies, dodged plasma fire, and ran until his legs gave out. At the edge of the battlefield, a dropship waited. Ryan jumped in with the woman in his arms, gasping for breath. The ship took off. Inside, alien guards stood in silence. Some lowered their weapons. Others looked at the woman and knelt. Ryan frowned. "Who is she?" One of the guards spoke in a shaking voice. "She is Princess Avalara, the last daughter of the Galaxian Empire." Ryan stared at the woman. She smiled weakly. "You saved me, human. That means something. Very important to my people." He blinked. "I was just doing the right thing." She shook her head. "To us, saving the life of a royal means you can ask for anything. Anything at all." The guards looked at him with nervous eyes. This wasn't a joke. Ryan scratched the back of his neck. "Anything?" "Yes," Avalara said. He looked around. "Well, I could use a real bed." "And a good meal," the guards gasped. Avalara tilted her head. "Is that truly your request?" Ryan smiled. "Nah, I'm just messing with you." He leaned back, arms crossed, and said with a grin, "Fine, then give me you." The ship went silent. Avalara's face turned red. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. Even the pilot glanced back in shock. The guard dropped his weapon. You are choosing the princess herself," Ryan laughed. "Hey, you said anything, didn't you? I'm joking, kinda." But Avalara stood still, her eyes fixed on him. Then she asked in a quiet, serious voice, "You're taking me as your wife? Really?" Ryan's grin vanished. "Wait, wife?" No, I didn't mean it like that. It is done," said one of the guards, falling to one knee. "He has claimed the princess. The life debt is now a marriage bond." Ryan's jaw dropped. "Hold on. What the hell is a marriage bond?" Avalara's voice was soft, almost embarrassed. "Our customs are different. When a royal is saved in battle, and if the savior speaks a claim, then the royal becomes theirs." Ryan stared at her. "You're kidding." She looked away. "I am not." Ryan rubbed his face. "Okay, wow. I was just trying to help someone, and now I'm married to an alien princess?" The ship shook a little as it landed on the capital platform. Avalara stood tall, though still weak. She looked at him and said, "You may not have meant it, but I am yours now, human, whether you want it or not." Ryan looked at her, the strange, proud, and beautiful alien who had just become his wife. "Well," he said with a small smirk, "guess I better learn how to be a royal husband." Avalara raised an eyebrow. "And I must learn how to be a human wife." As the doors of the ship opened and dozens of alien nobles stared in shock, Ryan and Avalara walked out side by side, two strangers, now bound by ancient law. And one very unexpected offer: The royal courtroom was silent, dead silent. Hundreds of alien nobles stood frozen. Their long robes shimmered under the golden light. Some looked angry, others shocked, and a few just stared at the human like he was a bug crawling on royal carpet. Ryan stood in the center of it all, wearing a half-burned soldier's jacket and dusty boots. He scratched his head, awkward and out of place. Next to him stood Princess Avalara, dressed in fine royal silk now, her silver hair brushed and glowing, her face calm. But her hands were shaking. "Let me get this straight," Ryan muttered. "I say one dumb thing, and now I'm husband." To an alien princess? No one laughed. A deep voice echoed through the court. Silence. It was the high voice of law, an old alien with 6 eyes and a golden crown on his head. He slammed his staff down. "Human, did you or did you not claim the princess?" Ryan hesitated. I kinda said give me you, but I didn't mean it like, that is a claim," the old alien snapped. "And under the royal law of blood binding, it is sealed. You, human, are now her life-bonded mate." The room exploded into gasps and whispers. One noble shouted, "This is madness. A dirty outsider? A primitive soldier? This thing cannot join our bloodline." Avalara raised her voice. "Enough!" All heads turned. She stepped forward. Her back was straight now. Her voice was royal again. "The law is clear. My life was saved." The human made the claim. "I accept it." Another wave of gasps. Ryan turned to her. "You accept it?" Avalara didn't meet his eyes. "You risked your life for mine. I cannot dishonor that. You are my husband now." "Wait, we're doing this for real?" he whispered. She looked at him, her voice trembling. "I do not know what it means to be your wife, but I will learn." "Even if the stars fall," Ryan blinked. "This is insane." The high voice banged his staff again. "Then it is settled. Princess Avalara will now follow her bond and live by his customs, until the final vow is made." A royal servant stepped forward and placed a scroll in Ryan's hands. He looked down. It was a list of laws, rules, and royal expectations for him. "Oh great," he muttered. "So I'm not just married, I'm in royal homework now." The nobles parted as guards escorted them out. As they walked down the glowing hallway, Avalara kept quiet. Ryan glanced at her. "So, do I get a crown or something?" She gave him a side eye. "You get a room. And possibly a knife in your back if you keep joking." He chuckled. Married life already sounds fun. But deep down, he could feel the tension growing. The way the nobles glared. The way her voice shook. The way her people looked at him like a stain on fine silk. This wasn't just marriage. It was war in a new form: politics, power, and royal secrets. And yet, when they reached his new royal chamber and the guards pushed Avalara inside after him, Ryan's eyes widened. Wait, you're staying here with me?" The guard replied coldly, "She is your wife now. You share everything, starting tonight." Avalara folded her arms, standing in the middle of the human-sized room like she had just walked into a cave. "This is smaller than my bathtub." Ryan groaned and collapsed onto the bed. "Welcome home, Your Highness." The door slammed behind them. Silence. Ryan stood by the wall. Princess Avalara stood in the middle of the room, still wrapped in royal robes, staring at everything like she had just entered a garbage pit. She took one look at the single bed. "One bed?" she asked, her voice flat. Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Welcome to human comfort." She stepped closer, lifted the corner of the thin mattress, sniffed it, and nearly gagged. "This smells like battle socks." "That's because it probably is battle socks," Ryan muttered, pulling his boots off. "I haven't had time to do laundry since, while saving your life." Avalara turned to him sharply. "Is that going to be your excuse for everything?" He smirked. "Pretty much." She walked toward the shelf and poked a metal cup. It fell over with a clink. Why are there no servants here? She asked. Where are the food bearers, the robe holders, the fire singers? You're looking at all of them, Ryan said, stretching. I cook, I clean, I survive. Welcome to Planet Human. She looked horrified. This place, it's so small, so simple. So, she poked a blinking device on the wall. It made a fart sound. Ryan burst out laughing. Yeah, don't touch that. That's my broken heater. Avalara spun around, her face serious. I cannot live like this. I am a princess. Not anymore, Ryan replied, lying back on the bed with his hands behind his head. Now you're a wife. She opened her mouth to argue but paused. Her hands clenched into fists. Fine, then I will learn. I will adapt, but do not expect me to scrub floors or cook beasts. Deal, Ryan said. Just don't set anything on fire. The next morning, bang. Smoke filled the room. Ryan shot up from bed, coughing. What the hell? Avalara stood in the middle of the room, holding a half-burnt frying pan with what looked like green slime in it. I tried to prepare morning food, she said, proud but also teary-eyed. Ryan looked at the wrecked pan. What even is that? It was supposed to be eggs, she said. But they screamed and exploded. You used alien eggs, didn't you? They were colorful, she defended. Ryan grabbed a towel and waved away the smoke. Okay, no more cooking for now. Avalara dropped the pan and sat on the floor, frustrated. I'm not good at this. Your world is strange. I feel useless. Ryan crouched beside her. You're not useless. You just don't know how to live like a human yet. That takes time. She didn't look at him. In my world, I was powerful. Respected. Here, I can't even boil food, he shrugged. Well, in your world, I was nobody. Just another soldier. But you saw me, didn't you? You trusted me. She finally looked at him. He smiled. We're both learning, together. She said nothing, but she didn't move away when he sat beside her. That night, they lay back to back in the same bed. Neither spoke. Avalara whispered, Do human wives sleep beside their husbands? Sometimes, Ryan answered. Sometimes they kick them off the bed. She was quiet for a moment, then said softly, I won't kick you. He smiled in the dark. Thanks. Ending line. And in that tiny smoky room filled with broken heaters and burnt alien eggs, two strangers from two worlds slowly began to build a home without even knowing it. 3 days later, Ryan woke up to a strange sound in the dark. It wasn't the wind outside. It wasn't the old heater groaning. It was her, soft sobs, shaky breathing. Coming from the other side of the bed, he turned slowly. Avalara was curled up, back toward him, shoulders trembling under the blanket. She thought he was asleep. He said nothing, just listened. She cried so quietly, like she had done it 100 times before. Like crying in silence was normal for her. In the morning, she was gone from the bed. Later that day, she acted normal, calm, cold even. She walked past him without a glance. She ate little, spoke less. And when Ryan tried to ask, she simply said, It's nothing. But he knew better. That night, when she thought he was out of the room, he heard her again whispering in her native tongue. The translator didn't catch it, but he could feel the pain in her voice. She was remembering something, or someone. He didn't push, not yet. The next evening, he found her sitting alone outside the outpost, staring at the sky. 2 moons hung above them like watching eyes. Ryan walked up slowly, carrying 2 warm cups of synth coffee. He handed her one. She didn't speak at first. Then quietly she asked, Do human hearts break too? He blinked. Yeah, every day. She held the cup in her lap, hands still. I had someone once. A suitor, a warrior from my world. Strong. Brave. Everyone said he was perfect for me. Ryan listened. He told me I was special, told me he'd protect me, and then he betrayed me. Her voice cracked. He used me to gain power, told the council lies, almost had me locked away. All for a crown. Ryan sat beside her, quiet. She continued, "After that, I trusted no one. I closed my heart. I wore a mask. I thought I would never feel safe again." A cold wind blew. Then she turned to him. "Then you came." He said nothing. "I didn't understand your world. Still don't, but you saved me. You never asked for gold or titles or control. You just helped me." Ryan looked up at the sky. "Maybe I just don't like seeing good people suffer," she laughed bitterly. "I'm not a good person." "Neither am I," he said. "But maybe we're better than the ones who pretend to be." Later that night, back in the room, Avalara sat on the edge of the bed. She held something in her hands, a small golden pendant, shaped like a flame. "My mother gave me this," she said, "told me it would keep me strong. But I didn't feel strong, not until recently." She turned and placed it gently on Ryan's pillow. "I want you to have it." Ryan frowned. "No, that's yours." "I don't need it anymore," she whispered. "Because maybe I'm not alone now." He didn't know what to say. So he just said, "That I'll keep it safe. Just like I'll keep you safe." The storm hit fast. Winds howled like wild beasts outside the small outpost. Rain slammed against the walls, and cold crept in through every crack. The power flickered, then died. Total darkness. Ryan lit a small lamp and pulled the blanket tighter over his shoulders. He glanced at the doorway to the bedroom. She hadn't come out yet. He grabbed another blanket and moved to the room. Inside, Princess Avalara sat on the floor by the wall, hugging her knees, her royal gown replaced by a simple brown tunic. Her skin, usually glowing, looked pale. She was shivering. Ryan knelt beside her. "You okay?" She nodded slowly, but her lips were blue. "You're freezing," he said. "I am not weak," she whispered. "I was raised to fight storms." "You're not fighting this one. You're losing," he replied gently. He opened the blanket. "Come on, you need warmth." She hesitated. Her pride held her still, but her body was shaking too hard to refuse. Finally, she crawled toward him and let him wrap the blanket around them both. At first, she stayed stiff, like a statue carved in fear, but then something shifted. Minutes passed. She felt his body heat, his steady breathing, his arm gently resting around her, and slowly she leaned in. Not because she was forced, not because of law, but because for the first time in a long time she felt safe. Ryan whispered, "Better?" She nodded against his chest. "Warmer, softer than I expected." He chuckled. "Thanks, I think." She looked up at him, her voice low. "Is this normal for humans? What, sharing warmth?" "No," she said. "Being this close, without wanting anything." In return, Ryan met her eyes. "It is with me." She blinked fast. Her hand, clumsy and unsure, reached up and touched his chest. Just rested there, feeling the steady beat of his heart. She didn't pull away, and neither did he. Later that night, they lay beside each other in bed, not touching, just close. Then, without a word, Avalara turned and placed her hand on top of his. Ryan looked at her. Her face was calm, her eyes gentle. She wasn't the cold princess anymore. She was real. "I don't know what this is," she said softly, "but I want to feel it again." He squeezed her hand lightly. "Then we'll take it slow. One moment at a time." She smiled, a small, shy, honest smile. And in the middle of a wild storm, two hearts that once belonged to different worlds found something stronger than laws or war trust: warmth and the first real touch. The storm was gone. The sun rose weak and pale through the clouds. But peace never lasts long in royal life. especially when enemies wear smiles. Ryan woke up first. Avalara was still asleep beside him, her silver hair spread across the pillow, like threads of moonlight. For a moment, he just looked at her, quiet, peaceful. Not the proud warrior princess or the broken girl, but something in between. Then someone knocked, a single tap, soft, too soft. Ryan grabbed his rifle and went to the door. "Who is it?" No answer. He opened the door slowly. No one was there, just silence. Then a flash of movement. A blade swung from the shadows. Ryan ducked, barely dodging the strike. He rolled back, kicked the attacker, and shouted, "We've got company." 3 masked figures burst into the room, their blades glowing green. Assassins. Avalara jumped up from the bed in one swift motion. Her training kicked in. She grabbed Ryan's spare dagger and spun into battle, barefoot and furious. "You dare come here?" she shouted. One assassin lunged at her. She stepped aside, twisted his arm, and slammed his face into the wall. Ryan fought the other 2, ducking, blocking, swinging his rifle like a club. But one blade cut his arm. Blood ran down to his fingers. Avalara saw it, and something inside her broke. She screamed not like a princess, but like a warrior queen. She charged the last assassin, grabbed his wrist, and forced the blade into his own chest. Silence returned. Aftermath. The bodies were gone. The guards took them away. Ryan sat on the floor, wrapping cloth around his bleeding arm. Avalara stood by the wall, her face pale. He looked up. "You okay?" She didn't answer. He stood slowly. "Talk to me." She finally whispered, "That blade. It had my family seal." Ryan froze. "What?" She nodded, eyes glassy. "It means the order came from inside the palace. Someone royal wants me dead. And probably you too." Ryan sat beside her. "Who?" "My cousin," she said. "He wants the throne. If I marry outside the bloodline, he loses his claim." "And if we die?" Ryan asked. "He wins." Ryan leaned back, sighing. "So we're not just a strange married couple anymore. We're targets." Avalara nodded. "Yes. But we're also stronger than they think." She turned to him. Her voice was steady now. "You bleed for me. I fight for you. This bond we have, it's not just law anymore." She reached for his hand. "I meant what I said. I choose to be your wife." He looked at her, at this alien woman who once stared at him with cold pride. Now she looked at him with fire in her eyes. "You're not what I expected," Ryan whispered. "Neither are you," she replied. A week had passed. The palace buzzed with rumors. Some nobles whispered of betrayal. Others warned of war. But the biggest shock of all, the royal wedding was happening, and the groom was human. In the grand hall, golden banners waved. The floors shined like water. Alien nobles lined up in silence, their glowing eyes locked on the man in the dark jacket, Ryan, the outsider. The soldier, the accidental husband. He stood tall, calm, focused. But inside, his stomach felt like a war zone. Beside him, Avalara stood in royal armor, laced with human metal. Her dress was unlike any royal gown before, half alien silk, half earth military leather. Strong, soft, fearless. She looked radiant, but her eyes searched only for him. Earlier that morning, Ryan had refused the crown, refused the ancient rituals, refused to bow before a council that wanted him gone. "I'll marry her," he had said. "But I'm not playing your game." He pulled a small box from his coat pocket. Inside was a ring, not made of gold or galactic crystal. Just simple metal, melted from my old dog tags. He told Avalara, holding it out. "It's not royal, but it's real, like us." Avalara stared at it, stunned. "What is this?" "A human vow," he said softly. "A promise, no rules, no contracts, just heart." Her hands shook as she took the ring. "Then let me give you something too." She pulled a glowing pendant from around her neck, the same one her mother had given her. The flame-shaped charm Ryan had once returned to her. She placed it over his head. Now we both were a piece of each other. Back to the ceremony. The priest began the speech. Something about stars and bloodlines. Ryan didn't listen. He only looked at her. Avalara stepped forward. The priest lifted the royal blade for the bonding cut, but Ryan raised a hand. No need. He stepped forward, dropped to one knee, and held out the ring. In my world, we kneel when we choose someone with our whole heart, he said. So here I am, choosing you. Gasps filled the hall. Avalara blinked back tears. No one had ever chosen her like this. Not for power, not for gain, but just for her. She bent down and kissed him. Right there in front of everyone. It was done. No more old laws. No more chains. Later that night, in their quiet room, away from the crowd, they sat on the bed, side by side. I never thought I'd be married, Ryan said. I never thought I'd be free, Avalara replied. He looked at her. So what now, princess? She leaned on his shoulder. Now we write our own story. He smiled. Let's make it a good one.